of a very good card over racing for Randwick Guineas Day. Mark Lamborn, Brent Zarafa, hello there.
Well, yes, Canterbury Guineas Day has morphed into a pretty big day at Randwick.
That Ellison Road's a good feed, isn't it? Gets you from Warwick, gets you to Warwick Farm, gets you to Canterbury now too, doesn't it?
That's right. So back at Randwick tomorrow, and more importantly on the True Rail with a little bit of irrigation. It'll be business as usual at Randwick.
Little bit of irrigation when? On Saturday and Sunday?
Well, I don't know.
No, it hasn't been yet, mate. No. I've spoken to Navesh during the week, and the plan is not to irrigate.
Wow.
So Saturday and Sunday night was the irrigation. They put 6 mils on Saturday night, 6 mils on Sunday, with the plan to try to get through without doing it.
That's good. That's interesting news, Dal.
Mm-hmm. What it means, though, I think the rail movement is just more important than anything, because last week we had horses up on speed, certainly favoured close to the rail, and that won't be the case on Saturday. It changes the whole dynamic.
Whatever it is, the riders will ride off the fence. Exactly. It doesn't matter what the pace is, they will ride off the fence tomorrow, and it'll be interesting. What I'll say is the track will be firmer tomorrow. The times that were run on Saturday, I think when we break it down, it was wind. They were getting wind assistance the whole way. The way the particular angle of the wind was helping, especially from the 1400 metre chute, which I think the back section was faster. But what we've also worked out is normally at Randwick they race off the fence. So if it's a 1400 metre race, they're running 1410 metres. Yeah. Here they're actually running 1400 metres hard up against the fence. So
the other thing is, Dal, when you get that wind, you usually get rain with it.
Yeah, yeah. So
it was a weird combination of a fast track.
Yep.
And a tailwind.
I'm saying the track surface, in the straight at least, was only a 3. Having walked it, touched it, you walk on those surfaces that are normally that, it's like walking on this, that had, when you put your hand through and felt it, it had a sandy feel to it on the soil and it was still moist. I'm saying the straight was a good 3 as far as the surface goes. So I'm saying the track will be firmer on Saturday, but they'll probably run slower times. How's that? Yeah.
Well,
but the wind
I'll just try and find a winner.
Yeah.
That does.
Anyway, it's, what it means is the lane won't be as severe. Because the faster the track, the less the lane.
That's right.
That's right. And that's why irrigation is key.
Yep.
You know, how much they put on, when they put on. You know, the real killer is when they irrigate the day before and then it's overcast.
Yep. Yep. But we should be 30 degrees the whole way through, shouldn't we? It's beautiful weather, isn't it? How good is it? Anyway, let's start with the first race, which is over 1200 metres. It is Honesty Prevails, the favourite at the moment from Calliope, and they dominate the market.
We do indeed, and we haven't seen Honesty Prevails for a good few weeks. She looks to hop out. It's the ladies' night out who comes back from the millions, being caught wide on the speed there, pressing forward. And Super 2 is a little bunny from Warwick Farm. Will I get into trouble by saying that?
Why a little bunny from Warwick Farm?
I don't know. Owners, they sort of get...
Oh, who cares? Well, why did you start worrying about that? We haven't been kibosh with that. We just can't call it a...
Anyway, Super 2 ran quick figures in about her second trial at Warwick Farm, then went down to Canberra and led all the way. She'll obviously be up on speed. Quick Feet can push into a position. Next best to Chappé, French Fern. I had Moquin and Calliope sitting astern of them. I missed Calliope's Blue Diamond prelude run. What can we say about that?
She didn't look comfortable. There's I mean, people say typical Sydney horse call for the first time. She just was stuck back in behind them, never really sort of had an opportunity to, in my opinion, to show her best. I saw at Randwick she got a lot of room and took a lot of time to wind up in that 1000 metre race, the Jim Crack Stakes, when she won it. And I think coming back to Randwick, 1200 metres, small field, bigger track, will give her an opportunity to improve, to show her true ability. Whether that's good enough to beat Honesty Prevails, I'm not sure, but the way I'm seeing it, I couldn't have them. I had them a lot closer in betting than they are at the moment. I didn't have it even sort of $3. I was probably 64 each.
On that Caulfield thing, we do get sometimes that shows up in the data that it does, and when you get sort of bits of it that some are not much good or whatever, and it did have the look that it wasn't handling Caulfield, and it showed that if you just looked at the data spread without even looking at the race, so there's peaks and troughs there. So that did show up that that it's probably entitled to a little bit more than what it did, but as Brent alluded to, is that good enough to beat Honesty Prevails, Mark?
Well, look, Honesty Prevails has done everything right. The form behind her is not
fair, isn't it?
It has not really stood up the way you'd sort of...
Is that a little bit atypical of 2-year-olds? So you get the one that comes out and beats them up, and the rest of it's not much good, and then you just get the cream that rises to the top and meet each other.
Lots of situations where it's winner only.
Yeah, that's right. And 2-year-old racing is a lot about that.
But you still would like to see a little bit of depth from those horses that have finished behind it, because...
Well, the betting was rude about Smart Amelia last week, and then, you know, she just takes
no
part.
She did pull it up sore, but I mean, the fact that the betting was there, I think is a good sign.
Yeah.
You know, like she did A, not participate in the race, and then B, was injured.
Yeah.
So...
Look, I'm not pouring cold water on Honesty Prevails. I just would like another look at her. You know, we've seen her in 2 trials good, and then the race where she's camped in behind a good speed and found the line looked solid. But I just want 2 runs before I start diving in. I've tipped her. I've marked her 11 to 8, but you know, you won't find me backing her.
All right, Honesty Prevails. She was possibly the fittest 2-year-old of the season first up. Now, this is the key to her, I think. She can improve on that run, obviously. Winning 1,100 metres on debut at Rhodes Hill is a bloody good effort for a horse on debut. And as we've seen all year, a lot of the much touted horses have put the white flag up and not won. She was really revved up first up. Naturally will take benefit from it with that run. But I'm really interested to see what Rick Worthington has done with her and how she's presented on Saturday. Does he think I'll ease up on her a little bit and tune her up for the Golden Slipper? I will nail this horse from the yard for sure, because she looks like a little rocket. Apparently, from the story Aaron did with Rick Worthington yesterday, she's grown a bit, and it'll be interesting to see what her fitness levels are. So until you see that, but if it's tick from the yard, I think she wins and wins well. She's a pretty talented but pretty talented racehorse. She's a really good package.
Yeah, I'm a bit like Mark. I've probably tipped her on top ahead of Calliope, but I'm seeing no value in it as a betting proposition for this race. So I'll learn a lot more going into the Golden Slipper. You're following this race.
Right yard, right price, wrong yard, leave me out.
Yeah, any thought on the, like he's Anthony Cummings, Mo Queen, seemed to do a good job. He comes home off a British backup.
Yeah, no, I think that'll end up being a handy race at Rose Hill. I think that Ome Sword looks to be one with some upside.
Well, it was funny, the horse of Gerald Ryan's, they just had the race shot to bits completely, and then all of a sudden, hello?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Moving along, but not going over, the In Focus product this week, Brent and Mark, is the Pro Bet Alive service that we offer, which is enormous value for just 99 bucks. We've been writing about it all week. There's an article on there and a video that Anthony and Dan and Potts, Darren Potter, that's his name, did Melbourne talking about it. The ever-present Darren Potter now.
You've got 2 of the keenest beans in the joint, like John Walter and Darren Potter. I can't recall 2 persons more like into it.
What about your good self, Mark?
No, I don't hold a candle to it.
Yeah.
But seriously.
But yeah, I mean, 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Maybe. Look, these guys are just giving it their all.
Yeah, absolutely. So what you get with the Pro Bet Alive chat room, first and foremost, the basis of it is John Walter's set for Sydney, Darren Potter's set for Melbourne. That takes you through the day, so you get that delivered to you like everybody else is on that. The interim sets are there now. The Saturday morning sets get updated after the scratchings, and then what the key to it is the chat room throughout the afternoon where you get all the updates to the mounting yard. I go through and critique all the horses a little bit more than you did with the mounting yard mail, because you're able to write full comments on the horses. You can ask questions about the horses as well too. Get full update about what's happening with betting, who's actually behind the betting plunges in the Sydney betting ring. We bring you the mounting yard mail from Melbourne as well too, or the mounting yard information, same sort of thing from Warren. Brent chimes in with all the relevant news whenever something comes through from the punting world. And then you get the changed and updated betting plans from Darren and also John throughout the afternoon. As the boys say, you know, they're obviously their final position is their final position. That can change throughout the afternoon depending on betting, depending on yard, depending on a lot of factors, how the track could change and all that. So it really is creating that community of a good core group of punters who are interested in real serious punting information, with the ability to talk to everybody as well too. And you know, somebody like Michael Thomas, who's been one of the most highly respected judges in New South Wales for a long time, he's in there, and you get his little bits of pearls come through as well too, like apart from a lot of other people. So
he's a happy clapper, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a happy clapper. We'll see how happy he claps later on. But yeah, so Pro Bet Alive, look in the articles, give it a try for 99 bucks a week. You get the 2 sets plus everything else. It is just enormous value. It was the introductory price that we never changed. So jump on board now, because I think we're going to change the price very soon. So give it a try. So you'll be impressed, I'm sure. No?
Look, it's all about context. You know, you sit down, you do the form, and you've seen whatever you see. But by the time you get to the track or into a situation like that, and you've gone through bedding and you've gone through all the bits and pieces that go into delivering a race, context becomes apparent.
That's right. That last minute clarity of a horse right now that we might be spruiking up, but by the time you get around to tomorrow, no. That's So you get that and more with Pro Better Live. Check it out. Todman Stakes, 1200 metres. Capitalist favourite. Astern second pick. Weatherly third pick.
Yeah, why is Weatherly third pick? Did Weatherly do something that I should have known about the other day?
Hit the fast lane at
found Mick Goody's fast lane.
But on debut, it was beaten in a Blue Diamond preview where it missed the start quite.
It's all right. It's all right.
The Melbourne through the line. It was quite strong.
It has run into a serious team here, isn't it?
I think so.
Oh, the serious team, many would argue, might have run in the Blue Diamond last week, but you've got Sydney.
That was a serious team. Yes, I understand that.
But the serious team here hasn't had the opportunity to.
Well, they've been
that's right. The serious team has been the team in Melbourne have had first serve, and these guys get to return.
Yeah,
so I think there's
an
interesting shift in the market because these guys have been sitting at home in the garage, basically. I think if you put them in the Blue Diamond, would have been interesting.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens tomorrow. Anyway, Mark, who leads?
Well, that's a good question. Because
you'd think. I've got a feeling the two big guns. Brent, you'll probably know more from talk on the track or whatever. I would have thought the two big guns are looking to sit, aren't they?
Well, Astern doesn't look like a sit type of horse to me. He seems like a sort of up on pace grinder type of out. Capitalist is.
He's a fast horse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's he's not going to. I can't see him sort of being too far away.
But I think they don't. What
Sarah kick up?
Well, I'm sure there wouldn't be a team talk at Team O'Shea would work out who does
Yeah, but when you think about it, they're all colts here. Like, yes, I know the Golden Slippers in 2 weeks' time, but I don't think anyone wants to have on their record beaten in the Todman by.
Oh no!
X,
I'm saying does Tessera kick up to provide the bunny for?
I'd imagine so. He's led with success twice.
Yeah.
The opinion would be that I'm sure that they've got a bigger opinion of Astern. So happy to sort of put him to the sword.
That's right.
Somewhat, relatively.
Yeah.
The horse that would like to lead is Kiss and Make Up, but I don't know if it's fast enough. Because it would be, keen to take it up. And obviously you've got Astern and Capitalist to jockey it out for who has to sort of race outside lead or whatever. Defcon and Weatherly.
Isn't Defcon's Canberra, isn't it?
Well, it appears to be. Yeah. But what makes this interesting is the setup with the 6 metre rail, small field is the stalk. The rail. True. The stalking position is probably the ideal spot.
Yeah.
But who's going to get the right one?
Well, you'd have to think it would be Capitalist given he's right underneath Astern.
I think so, because he's going to have to either work to go in front of him or sit on his back.
It becomes a fascinating race with James McDonald versus Blake Shinn.
It's a great battle of tactics, and interesting that sort of you've got Peter and Paul Snowden taking on O'Shea, sort of that Godolphin / Old Darley setup.
Oh, the old team.
Yes. New versus the old.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. So what are we saying?
Well, we get. I guess we get some clarity tomorrow. It's Capitalist v Astern. You're saying that Defcon's not going to be there, which I had a soft. I definitely wanted to see Defcon there tomorrow at 1200 at having last look at them.
Fair enough. Cool. I just need Defcon to turn up mentally. That's where he's going. His biggest challenge.
For me, a bit like the Phillies race. I don't get too excited betting in this event. I probably can't have Capitalist as short as he is, given the fact that Astern has been impressive and gives me the impression that he's got more to give. But they've got a race in 2 weeks' time that's worth $3.5 million. And I'm going to learn so much more from this race than I currently
That's not
understand.
what the punters want to hear.
I know that, but that's me. That's
clarity. Mounting Yard Mail, Pro Better Live. You will find the winner of this race. I'll guarantee that. We will nail this race. We saw Astern parade. Twice Astern we've seen in the yard. First time he paraded big, paraded well. Second time he paraded awfully, but was fitter. So he's left so much behind in the yard every time. Capitalist has been pretty much right in his game most of the time. So I've got a feeling we've seen what Capitalist in the Magic Millions. Capitalist said, "This is what I've got." You've got to remember this is now first up third prep, Mark, so we're getting deeper into seeing what Capitalist is, so we know what he's got. Astern has got plenty left. I think he's left plenty on the track there by just waiting and getting building momentum on the line. He's left plenty on the track, and I think he's left plenty in the yard. So I think he's got enough there to say, if I parade well, and I'm right, I've had the run, I'm second up, second prep, I'm now ready to show what I've got. He can beat Capitalist tomorrow, and you know, but he needs to parade well. If he doesn't parade well, Capitalist has got the mark there to win. Stern lifts his game really well and parades fit and behaves right for the first time in his career combined. He beats Capitalist.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the Todman.
Yeah,
Thank you, Del.
I'll be sitting and watching it.
Mark, you want to add to that? No. All right, we'll watch you. Where are you going?
I'm tipping number 1, and I couldn't possibly back it.
Okay, beautiful. All right. There you go, Mark, probably better live. Can only hope there. What's happening with you, Mark? Where are we? Where are we? What are we doing?
We cleaned them up late there on Warwick Farm on Wednesday. It was some steady start, but you know, large action on Make a Dane and Eminent Duke, who was $26 on race morning, and nothing like it at post time. So, all good. Tomorrow we've got Randwick and Gosford. So comments for Randwick, as well as trades and 2 sets of markets and maps for both venues, and look out for a something to read. And then on Monday we're going to Kembla, Tuesday we're going to Hawkesbury.
Oh, that late Cup day, isn't it?
Yeah, Wednesday
it's a big week next week.
Canterbury, I imagine. And
no, Canterbury. Quarantine
down. We're quarantined down now from now on, is it? Yeah.
We're bunkered down, so Canterbury's out of action for the order.
Rolled out the carpet for our sole Japanese
yes, that's
runner.
why we've got the 2. This month we've got 2 city meetings at Gosford.
Yeah, exactly. And the Shetland ponies that are going to be the entertainment in between races 4 and 5. They're coming from Germany, so they can use the quarantine centre as well too.
Yep. Anyway, look out for all my stuff. It's a busy week coming.
Beautiful, Mark stuff, of course, and you can see all the back issues on your site, which you can just link to from our site. So have a look and check out. It's the easiest way to do it. Check out what we're talking about. Randwick City Stays over 2,000 metres. Allergic going around again is favourite in front of Libran, in front of Morris, and Bohemian Lily is next pick.
Gay, she really just drives you mad, doesn't she? Bohemian Lily hasn't been seen for 3 weeks, and it goes 1,400 up to 2,000.
But when Gay's humming, that's fine. That's good, isn't it?
Bohemian Lily good enough though?
Not sure.
Well, I suppose this is her mark. Himalaya, we've lost her Himalaya Dream. So
yeah, that's right. It's gone to Melbourne, hasn't it?
So that gives
also
Bohemian Lily
and Sir John
Hawkwood.
Gives Bohemian Lily the lead. Mara Nostra will be up on the speed. Cafe Society probably OSL.
That's what I'm saying. So that's Gay. That's nice.
Yeah, Gay controlling. So Beyond Thankful and Maris in the next bracket. And I had the other 4 out the back. Libran perhaps could be ridden closer from gate 1.
Not real keen on gate 1 for Libran, but I love the way he sets up for this race. 3rd up now, 2,000 metres. There just seems to be a little bit of...
looks at him, that's right.
Seems to be an air of confidence coming from the camp that this is a horse who they've got an opinion of that will continue to progress through the Sydney Cup, and he didn't get luck when he needed it at a vital stage at Rosehill last time. I don't know if he was I don't know if he was in a winning position coming to the turn, but he probably still should have run second to Arab Dawn, and now that he's got that run under his belt, I see the only query being the inside gate off a true rail at Randwick. But if Brent Abdallah can find a way through that to navigate out to the middle, I think he'll beat this lot.
Saving ground, 2,000 metres off from the gates, that mark, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, it you know, as soon as they start going around those extra turns, it becomes complicated, or it's not the issue that it is at the sprint course. Certainly, Allergic was unlucky a fortnight ago. Libran was hitting his straps. They looked the 2. I'm looking for an improved run from Beyond Thankful. I am curious about this John Thompson report.
It is. What are you? Any mail there? I mean, it's his first up for 500.
Yeah, I think they've had a few. I wouldn't say issues. I think he may have been a stallion when he came, and I think
he has. Well, the official gear changes are gelded, but sometimes you can't believe that.
Yeah, I know. I think they've had a few behavioural issues with the horse. He's been a little bit hard to handle.
Yep.
I think that's probably why he's taken a little bit of time to get to the races.
Well, his overseas form, he's got a bit of a sprint on him late. It's over more distance.
But it's 3,000 metre form.
3,000 metre form. But John Thompson's done this before. There was something he did at Roy, and your man John Thompson.
He's scary. He's
Was
scary.
it Orbeck was a horse that he
yeah,
produced in a
that's right.
In fact, he's got Orbeck in his form, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, look, it's a horse. It's a horse that I'm interested, obviously, to see parade, and I'm getting interested in this race to be having a bet, and I won't be letting it beat me. That's for sure. I mean, whether it's just a chop out or not, you know, it's not going to cost much.
We've got to focus D Baker here tomorrow.
Yeah, so I was Lee Brun ahead of Allergic, and then Morris, the improver, second up from a good run first up.
On Libran and both Allergic, and I saw some signs about Allergic in the yard that might have said that I'm sort of started to have enough of things, and it has been going round and round, and I think we've all sort of almost had about
well, so his wins were with the cut out of the ground. So.
Yeah, I think
I'm not sure
better
he's got
on
any improvement to come.
No, it's definitely no improvement. Now, the two keys for these horses is they've come home 10 lengths above over the 800 metres, which what we say that is a dangerous red line run potential. Libran went into the last meeting saying the danger it could be flat, paraded like it was flat. I think it raced like it was flat.
Right.
So, but the worry then is, okay, then it's a bit flat now. It's gone 10 lengths above average for the last combined sections. That can also then lead to a flat run. I'm saying I would have liked to have seen it go a little bit less last time late to make it set it up properly for here, but it's not. It's on the up, and what that could have done to Allergic is put it right over the cliff, which we've seen happen many times before. So Libran, yes, in front of, it's on the up. Allergic were at best levelling, but Bohemian Lily, well, it's never been one to do anything great, but I think when he's now getting a bit of a feel for it, if you isolate good track runs, it's overall form, throw the wet tracks in the bin, it has a far better form profile than I thought it did. So 14 to 2000, if Gay's humming, that's good. I think Gay's back, but it's just, you know, and I'm just speaking to Mr. Ashman on the way in, and he said it has really stepped up at track work during the race.
Okay.
All right,
something to note.
All right, lovely. Race 4. Before we do that, I've been talking a lot about race speed profiles in that thing. Race speed profiles. We have a carnival pack available for Sydney. The next 8 weeks, you can get it at the reduced race at $396, which is an Australian figure, but of course it includes the GST and it rounds perfectly, so whatever that means. So $396 for the next 8 weeks of race speed profiles in Sydney, and yeah, jump on board with that because I think we're going to be nailing this card and every other card between now and the end of the carnival.
That's right, you've got Australian guineas in Melbourne, haven't you?
Yeah, of course, that's the Sydney thing, and don't forget we'll be doing Melbourne every week as well too. For between now and the end. It might even, well, Vince will blow up if I did that. I was going to say I'll throw an Australian Guineas Day. Yeah, bugger it. I'll throw an Australian. Sign up on Friday. Sign up today. Friday special. Get Australian Guineas Day as well too. So get to it. Call to action. It's Friday special for the race week profiles. Thank you. Yeah, whatever it is, you'll get the 8 weeks for Sydney plus Flemington Guineas Day for $396. The City Ford Group Aspiration Quality 1600 metres. Heavens Above is the favourite ahead of Adorabile and Allegria, and not far off is Skyline Blush, Sweet Fire and All Cerise.
Yes, look, it's quite delicious because you know, we've got this flashy looking Heavens Above coming off a win into a mare's race. The tempo looks just there.
Benchmark. Mate, I think for every race we've just about ridden benchmark tempo the whole day.
Well, you've got field size and rider configurations that just, you know,
it's just benchmark.
Yeah. So I mean, All Cerise has been ridden in the lead with great success recently, and I imagine that he'll take her across the lead, which would see Skyline Blush taking a trail, Adorabile and Sweet Fire sitting down underneath them, and Mary Lou coming across to maybe out OSL. Which gives Allegria possibly a sweet spotty sort of run.
Yep.
Heavens Above will jump onto her back.
Adorabile with blinkers on, if it doesn't miss, you mentioned, didn't it? It can be a bit closer, can't it?
Yeah, it probably box seats.
Yeah.
Sweet Fire behind it on the inside. Yeah, so I just played the softly here with Heavens Above. It just scares the shit out of me going back up the mile off a fresh run.
Yeah, and the 56 days, 1400.
Into a steady tempo, you know, and she's lost her jockey as well. Any thoughts there, Brent?
I was talking to Christian Reith this morning. He said he's ridden the horse once before. I'd imagine it'd just be the 54 kilos, that'd be the reason why. But I think she looks a pretty good bet here myself.
Take it away.
Tempo is the obvious query because she doesn't seem to have any other tactical nous other than looking to go back and find cover. But having a look at her runs, she seems to perform well off of fresh sort of gaps. Like she raced on the 31st of October, then 3 weeks into the 21st of November, and then it was sort of 3 weeks into December. So she's never been a sort of 2 week backup horse. She's had a month since her last run. Speaking to Tim Martin this week, he suggested that this is the race that has been sort of highlighted on the calendar for some time. He said, look, it's basically only her second preparation because what she did as a 3-year-old, she did it virtually from a maiden right the way through.
It was a wonderful
and he said, look, I went to Queensland, probably shouldn't have done it, but we threw her up in the deep end because they're only 3-year-old fillies once. I think she's a pretty handy mare, and what she has shown in her 4 runs this season is an exceptional acceleration when she hits a top speed.
When she can hit, she can sprint.
What sort of attracts me to her is even if they do go steady, she's not going to be too far off them in this size field, and she's got the ability to turn that up and hit that lane sort of 6 to 8 metres off the fence in the straight and probably gobble them up.
Okay, there you go. Adorable, third up, back up. Joe Pride, blinkers on. Hello.
Won this race last year.
You talk about Tim Martin having this race circled. 100%. When we spoke about Mahara having the race circled last time, well, why not have the proper setup? This is set up.
Joe Pride, blinkers. He's the best. I think he's the best user of blinkers as a gear change in Sydney. Fantastic.
He's been for that. Yeah. But Mark, when he was allowed on the radio many years ago,
when all the trainers hated me, including Joe,
suggested something about Joe. I think it was only a tongue tie or whatever, and he took really serious note of it, and then started when it was go day.
Red Oog.
Yeah.
TJ Smith.
When it was go time, it was time to. It was going to go with a gear change. So, Adorable looks perfectly set up. We can got the gun on it.
Coming out of the best mares race.
Yep. Whether it's a great race to back up on, it had a little brutality about it, but I think she gets away with it. And I'll probably end up with egg on my face. If the rider's right off the fence, I'm not all that worried about barrier 1 at the moment at Randwick with the rail true. I think they.
No, it's like we saw a situation at Warwick Farm on Wednesday where he went back to the true, but the first 2 winners drew gate 1. If the track is dry enough.
Yeah. That's right.
It's one of those fluky things where if there's a bit of murk to the track, we'll just forget about it. You're a zillion to 1.
Yeah, but I think under these circumstances, they ride off it, and it's right. The gun's the right person to work it out. I'm saying I'd rather be barrier 1 saving ground and getting into it than being 3 wide circling at Randwick with the track as thick as it is. That's circling without cover.
Right. Any thoughts on Allegria, Dale?
Yes. Yeah, it's a day. It's a chance. Said last time that it was the first time she got the dry track, but it was off at John O'Shea 35 days. She paraded well, and we came back and said she was great, but there's a little lack of real rock hardness to her. And you came back and said, no, she's good enough. And you watched her on the line when she stopped, and it was the same thing with the bloody thing. I think it was the week or so later. That did the same thing, that ran up and then got nosed out. It was either the week before.
Rose Hill?
No, yeah, might have been. It was O'Shea, the same thing again. The 3 weeks between runs, or the time off between runs, it was the same thing. So she gets the 3 weeks between the runs. She goes to mile to mile. I'd still rather 2 weeks between runs, but she gets the dry track. She gets the best chance to do it. She still went well enough last time. She ran a +4 on our language, which is 4 lengths above average. 6 lengths is about the mark here. She can improve a couple of lengths. She gets your chance. I'm Adorable. I'm Allegria, and with Heavens Above is hopefully a chop out if the market allows.
Yeah, that's it for sure.
That's you? Alright, beautiful. Race 5, the Canterbury Stakes. First seal favourite, Almo Malachi next pick, and then Kermadec after that.
And how long has this been a race been a Group 1? It's a couple of years, 3 years?
A couple of years with Piero, won it as a Group 1.
Okay.
Joyce won it as a Group 1.
Right, okay, it's been a while.
So it's been a fair while.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Okay, and is the challenge later on a Group 1 or not?
No,
it's the same prize money.
Group 2.
They must be pitching.
Jesus. Okay. No wonder it's a good race.
Well, it's funny. Sorry, we're jumping ahead here, but I said to Gord it's a good race, and he goes, "Well, there's no Terra Vista, there's no Exosphere, there's no Chautauqua, there's no,
There's great layers to it. I didn't even look at the prize money or whatever. Oh, okay, now it makes sense. All right, Canterbury Stakes, Mark. our boy Malachi leads.
Yeah, well, we've got a configuration here at least. You know, it's our boy Malachi who seems to miss the start in every trial that he has.
Yeah,
It's quite weird, isn't it?
A lot of jockeys have made mention of. I spoke to Jay Ford, who said he's ridden the horse a fair bit of time in trials and early on. And he said he's got that ability to sort of just be a little bit half sort of juddery at the start, but in a race he sort of quickly musters speed and they get on with it.
Yeah, you wouldn't imagine. He's got Holler on his outside with blinkers on, so that that does look a bit keen.
And Tim Clark, I reckon we might ask some questions of him on Ecuador too. If he's
Yeah, enough speed,
could do.
Is he even up 1300 metres?
I'll tell you what he's got. He's got enough speed to take our Malachi out of a comfort zone over 1300.
Yeah.
To make it.
The way I see it, our boy Malachi would cross him in 2 strides.
Yeah.
But hang on, he's already okay. So he's missed the start slightly.
He's got Holler on his outside, which might sort of go there, and then Ecuador might have a shot at him. I mean, what I'm saying, he's got enough. There's enough there to make it a 1300 metre race rather than just a la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Let's go for 4.
So last year we saw Cosmic Endeavour just on a 3 metre rail, just sort of do her own thing. This race promises to be a little bit more spice, doesn't it?
That's interesting. Yeah. Anyway.
Why is Kermadec carrying blinkers first up? What's the story there?
I think he's a lot more focused this campaign. Chris Waller said to me that he's training him as a sprinter miler, not as a 2,000 metre horse trying to get a Cox Plate like he was last spring. So I think you'll see a completely different setup from Kermadec Fresh tomorrow than you would have seen during the spring last year.
$6 is a very good price.
He's a serious horse. Like this could potentially be his last racing season.
Oh, is that right?
He's a 4-year-old Entire, a Doncaster winner. He's a Dual Group 1 winner. I don't know if any. I got no idea, but I'm imagining if he is, a bit like
probably lucky to be still racing, Brent.
It could be game over by the end of the
Well,
autumn.
there's nothing to do at this stage.
No, that's right. He had to win the Doncaster.
Although, I mean, obviously you can lose cast and prestige.
But he's been quite forward in 2 trials. Barrier 1, you'd imagine he'll be sort of smoking his pipe just in behind them somewhere.
I've never seen final word.
But I think the one who looks vulnerable at the price is First Seal, myself.
She's a short price, isn't she?
Because she came out of a mare's race, which to me doesn't look to have a lot of depth. Straight up to weight for age Group 1 against some handy horses in Kermadec, even Criterion and our boy Malachi. I would have thought our boy Malachi would have been shorter than her.
I hope he is.
Much shorter.
I hope he is.
She's favourite.
No, well, I hope he is on game day when it comes around.
Are you going to back her?
I'm just going to oppose our boy Malachi.
No, well, I'm not saying. I'm not in our boy Malachi's camp.
But I'm saying I hope you're right, because I want to. If our boy Malachi's been taking 40% or something like that, it makes things
I'm leaning to Kermadec without any confidence.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, Kermadec. Mark, what do you say? I've spoken a lot. What do you say?
Well, it's one of those situations again where I've got First Seal on top, but I'm nowhere near as short as she is. I think there's 4 good chances. 1, 2, 3 and 6. Holler's obviously the spice in the race. Ecuador was not out of the race. Happy Clapper. We'd have to be happy being Michael Thomas. He's only lost once of his last 7, is it?
Yeah.
And that was Gate 1 heavy winter Randwick track first up. So
what have you spoken to Pat?
Yeah, this just goes George Ryder 2 weeks. Yeah. Canterbury Stakes 2 weeks. George Ryder 2 weeks. Doncaster.
Doncaster.
59, 50 and a half.
Yeah, beautiful. But I mean, he's being typical Pat. There's going to be plenty left in the.
Well, you saw him trial. Just get back and run on. I'd imagine he's
same sort of thing.
He hasn't been. It's a big step to wait for age Group 1. Look, if he comes storming over the top of him, I think they'd be happy. But me personally, I can't see that happening just yet. When you're going to get 9 kilos swing and in a Doncaster.
The interesting thing that we found from this race is that our boy Malachi, we've been able to. The 1300 metres is obviously the query, but he does have a history of having 2 runs at Rockhampton when he was up and running over 1300 metres, and we can bring you the data of it. When he was running, he basically hasn't improved all that much on what he has done from compared to best, and that's normally over 1100 metres. around somewhere about the +6 to +8 lengths above average. When he went to 1,300 metres, when he was humming in North Queensland, what's Rockhampton, Central Queensland? Whatever it is, Rockhampton. He got away with races run at benchmark and -2 below, and he could only go 3 or 4 lengths above benchmark. So he's a 3-length inferior horse over 1,300 metres when the race is run at an average tempo or just below. What he's going to have to do is, if there is pressure on him, he's going to be having to withstand horses that can run 10 lengths above benchmark for their final sections in Criterion, in Kermadec, in First Seal, and he will get run over like there's no tomorrow if there is pressure on. He'll have the track in his favour. He's got conditions to suit, but if there was a little bit more guaranteed pressure, he would be...
What the hell is Holler going to do?
Well,
hopefully... Blinkers on outside gate.
He went warp speed against Mahuda there the other day.
Well, you'd think outside gate there, you'd hope... You just wish to see another blue jacket in the race that was going to be coming from back in the field running on.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, like, so that you'd really say, well, you know, here we go. But, so I like Kermadec on top, and Criterion and First Seal will hopefully be saves.
Very good, Dal.
All right. Beautiful. Phone call. It was that person who was just ringing, Stephen Fletcher.
Is he on the phone?
He was on the. Well, he was.
Can you
ringing.
ask him what he likes, Dal?
Yeah. He wouldn't have had it worked out by now. There's the Fridays to go at the moment, right?
Yes,
but
there's a few dog meetings on as well.
Oh, there's plenty on with Fletch at the moment. But all right. So what we've got with out wide. Where's the widest meeting today? It's probably where we'll turn over the most.
Dalby or something.
Oh yeah, Dalby. There was tips there. Cranbourne tonight. Yeah, wherever. You'll get tips for that if you join up Fletcher's $20 service, which is humming. You get the best of Fletch for Wednesday, the best of Fletch for Friday, and the best of Fletch for Saturday. And as we said before, it's almost like a geography lesson as well too, because you find places that you didn't know existed.
Some track somewhere.
Yeah. If it's there, they'll bet. So with Fletch, that you'll know that, and that's a winning service. And then last week again, his race by race service was awesome when he was the product, the in focus product. So you get not only are the horses that win races a lot, but also the horses that are going to firm in the market. And if you're very market conscious, like is what the way to making good money at this game, Mark, is that if you know that this horse is going to really shorten, or essentially another one is going to blow, then you're going to be right ahead of the market, and you can pick and choose and turn your profits.
Sort of sells itself, this product, doesn't it?
It does. It's Fletch. It's Fletch. Fletch is the rock star. Fletch is the best, and we've got him here on the Punter Show. Simple as that. $99 for the two in Sydney, Sydney and Melbourne, $55 for a single meeting race by race, or just $20 for his $20 service.
I hope you're taking notes, Brent, because we're going to have to do this if Dal ducks away.
We'll just record. I'll insert Dal cuts into the
Fletch. You know, you want to spruik, or if you got Fletch, you might as well spruik him, mightn't you?
Exactly.
Yeah, lovely, cool. All right, and we'll see what Will Ferrell picture we can come up with for the website tomorrow morning. I should mention he'll be back on the radio with you with a radio show that hopefully we don't get the email and say that they've got some network issues with the studio tomorrow. So that should be back on. You'll be on the radio apart from along with everybody else.
Glenn will be on the radio while he's driving to the races.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. He's going to and keep an eye out for driving with Glenn tomorrow morning as well too. Very funny. What will happen this week?
Let's get into this one.
Fireball Stakes, furnaces, and then a stack of them: King's Troop, Red Zell, Kangaroo Joy, Strindberg's Long Odds, and Takedown, resuming all sort of there and thereabouts.
Egyptian symbol.
Egyptian symbol. Yeah, that's it too. Plenty of them.
Good race. Very good race. And a few freshies here. Well, King's Troop's is quite fresh back from the millions. Tempt Me Not raced handy to the speed the other day and won't be far away. Furnaces resumes off a one run. Was it a one run spring?
Yeah. So obviously problem sprint.
Yeah, I haven't asked or found out.
He's a fairly
something to do this afternoon.
He's a fairly slick horse that I imagine will be in the van. I want Red Zell just to sit behind them tomorrow, but he can certainly be part of the fray. And had Egyptian symbol and Kimberley Star out the back. Whatever that means.
Okay.
I've liked what I've seen of Furnaces in 2 barrier trials coming back this preparation, and I like the fact that his last run at 1,000 metres in the spring, he did run 3rd to Chautauqua and 2nd was Flamberge. So you've got 2 subsequent Group 1
Well, that would have been a pot this time last week.
Yeah, I know, but it just sort of just the way it's just the way
it's such a.
I know, but it's just the way
you
look at the form. You say 3rd to, I know he had 52 kilos as a 3-year-old at weight for age, but He's now a 3-year-old colt in the prime of his life in the autumn. Wide gate, I don't see too much of a concern.
No, you want wide at the short sprint course.
I think he sets up quite well for this and deserves to be favourite. The horse that I'm also playing in this race at decent odds is Lady Sniper. I've been really taken with her 2 barrier trials, and she just seems to have a little bit of X factor. To me, I liked her win where she beat Hellbent last start, which was back at Randwick.
It was in the restricted sale race on
the scene of the crime, 1100 Randwick. She's going to be a stalk, hit the line. Sets up pretty well for this. For someone who's $15, I'm playing Furnaces and Lady Sniper.
Okay, any comment on the Bijon stablemate Egyptian symbol?
Yeah, she looks...
Gun on.
She looks to me to be only have the 1 trial. She may improve going into another target where the way I sort of see things is Lady Sniper is probably the more forward of the 2 for this event.
She's scene of crime, isn't she? Yeah. I preferred her. Look, I'm a bit of a fan of Redzell tomorrow, who's 3rd up and has been brought to a pitch. So I saw him as the horse that's peaking in the race. Most of the others are either returning or fillies, I guess, are interesting because they come out of Kangaroo Joy and Tempe Night come out of the Light Fingers. Both back to 1100, which appears suitable for both. But
I think there was a possibility Kangaroo Joy might have been a bit flat the other day. Just to race.
Yeah. Well,
and back to 1100 metres, I think.
1100 looks a perfect distance.
Yeah. I think there's a bit to like about Kangaroo Joy. All right.
Yeah, except I think she's a touch limited.
Yeah.
She's there. She's certainly there.
Yeah, but I don't disagree with you. That's the right race, Redzell and Strindberg. We should say Strindberg in that race was one of the only horses that paraded well. Redzell didn't parade well. So they're 2 of great interest. But Strindberg $17, I think, is over the odds too. That race was okay numbers.
Yeah, I don't really have much. Yeah, I'm sort of... Well, Furnaces beat Redzell on a wet track.
I'm Doncaster.
Yeah, in the kindergarten last year. Yeah. So there's a bit of a tie-in for the form. There wasn't much between them at the time.
No, that's right, and it's but 180 days off, 1's 3rd up. Yeah, but anyway, perfect. All right, yeah, there it is. Anything else? Voila. Race 7, the Randwick Guineas, the feature of the day.
Thank God for Stay With Me. I mean,
But is she anything to this race?
Well, I don't know. She's different. She's different because with the Australian Guineas being run on the same day as the Randwick Guineas, we're just going to get this year in, year out, where the entire Hobartville field
just goes around.
And
if you've got a horse like Press Statement, it's just impossible to see anything from behind him beating it.
No.
You just need some fresh blood, like a 50-1 chance.
So, Press Statement actually looks to take it up. I don't imagine that's the plan, but, he's going to have to co-opt Del Cielo, La Romaine or Balmain Boy to take it up.
Macintosh maybe?
Well, Macintosh. But I mean, it's not obvious, and he's drawn on the outside of those, so if they just jump out and go, come on, what do you want to do?
He was braining.
He just...
Look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah. I mean, he did PR the other day, but he won best size.
The horse that I could only see getting maybe a little bit closer to him than he did last time out of the same race as Montaigne, because he's up in distance, drawn a better gate, should be able to settle a touch closer than he was last time, and he may be able to get within a length. Or a length and a half, not 3 or whatever he was last time.
One's just started out there, one's 5th run first bred. So
I know, but to me, he still seems like he's got more to give.
He's the only horse in the race.
He's got an X factor.
I think he's got a big good horse next time.
Exactly, he's got an X factor. And
I think
next fortnight's his race, at 2,000 metres of Rosehill Guineas.
Right.
I think there's a horse with an enormous amount of X factor called Data Point.
Right.
But is he in Melbourne as well?
No, I think he'll be coming to Sydney.
Okay.
He's run at Sandown. He was back last 10 lengths off the lead, 10 wide, and still was able to run 3rd best of the day numbers, and still able to run, I think, the best last 800 metres of the day. This is a serious horse. It's 3rd up, second prep with Mick Kent. Mick Kent is always dangerous and weird and all that, and I think he's the. I can't see anything that's finished behind Press Statement even probably reducing the margin on it. I can only see that margin increasing. And Data Point's a different horse. It's a different form, and I think it's solid form. It might fall flat on its face, but it's the only one that I can't see anyone from behind.
Alright, well you're looking at big odds there, Dale, aren't you?
50-1 I was staggered. I hadn't really checked the market all that much.
Alright. Race of Press Statement.
We will be hailing, Dal could be the BZ of Monday, of last Monday.
Oh,
of course, Brent tipped Charlie Boy last week. And
yes,
this week
that's right.
Dal being the hero with data.
Oh, no, I'm saying press statement wins, but I'm just saying data
No,
points.
you'll get hero status.
Okay,
you'll get cult status, don't worry.
All right, perfect. Race 8 is the Challenge Stakes, of course.
Has it got some other name, is it?
Highland Race Colours Challenge. Yeah, okay. 380 or English favourite. It's come into favouritism. Ball of Muscle, next pick, Shiraz, and Speak Fondly in the next line. And King Light, do we know what he's doing yet, Brad? Sydney. King Light is then there.
Right. I'm pleased that Andrew Bensley here knows everything.
That's good.
So Bet365, they were just looking for promotion, advertising.
We wrote the story. What is it? Was it
$28 or something like that?
$26 and then
okay, so you're going to hold 50 million on the race, and you just let someone on to win 2,000, and you get a story.
Wouldn't even.
And you get publicity galore for the next 2 days.
Would have been lucky to be 2,000.
Who knows what it is?
And the person who's got eyes who saw it was the wrong price, they get barred.
I only saw 8, and I went 8.
Yeah.
8, and by the time I sort of rallied to realise it was already $3.50, and it was
it was suggested to me that English is favoured off a trial here.
2 trials.
Yeah, but I mean the favourite. Yeah. The favourite is because it's trial.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because of, well, I suppose it did run
second and Diamond Slipper. It looks to be airborne.
Right. I think it's been set for this race.
Well, the first trial was a high quality event with First Seal, Stay With Me, all those real good Group 1 horses, and it looked like she has got a dazzling little turn of foot. Like she's got that ability to hold, quicken. Okay, I'm going to make 4 lengths up very, very quickly. And then in the second trial, she went right back to settle, hit the line. Capitalist was sort of cruising up in front, but to me, she looks like Villa Verde was able to win this race.
Just on that most recent trial, they've gone 6 lengths faster for the first than what the average was in the day for the first section. Yeah. So they've gone. They have gone along.
What was I going to say? Yeah, Villa Verde won this race as a 3-year-old filly a couple of seasons ago. So it can be done by a 3-year-old. Like, it's not sort of breaking new ground that a 3-year-old filly against the older horses can win this race. And I've seen stronger challenge stakes than I think this race. Like, I'm looking at Felines and Rule the River, Boss Lane, like Shiraz.
Actually, there is an at-sea connection.
Like, they're not. I don't know. I don't see there's a
they're B grade.
Depth. I don't think there's a huge amount of depth to this race.
You know what I liked about it is that we always talk about 1,000-metre form and 1,000-metre Randwick form. How it is. There's a lot of sample of 1,000-metre Randwick form that you can just isolate. Bing, 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 and go bang.
So where are you going bang?
$17, Boss Lane.
Yes, the 2 from 2 is he?
2 from 2. 6 lengths above average, 2 runs back, went up to 1,200 metres, didn't work. 3 weeks back for Ronnie, and time off between runs Ronnie Quinton, that's no good. 3 weeks back to 1,000 metres, ideal, looks to get the perfect slingshot position, and $17 is far over the odds.
Yeah. The trouble is that he's he's attempting to win a Group 2 weight for age race.
That's the,
I mean, look,
it's 1,000 metres.
I think, you can definitely have a look at Boss Lane.
I think $17 is what it should be.
So look, it's interesting from that viewpoint. I mean, Ron's gone, well, this is the only chance to race 1,000 metres at Randwick for this money.
That's right.
So let's go, brother. But I do think the 3-year-old fillies have got the right look about them in this race.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
And even the 3-year-olds, King Like, I witnessed him mowing down Raphael's cat down the straight at Flemington, and I thought, yeah, you're a proper horse. So I was interested in him as well, and even Lord of the Sky, who had that ridiculous preparation last time, where he had where he resumed at the end of December 2014, and by July he's getting maligned for falling over at Caulfield.
Yeah.
He does have a second to Chautauqua and a second to Flamberge. There
last
recent record.
Good old Flamberge, the yardstick. Who knew that he'd be?
Well, the second to Chautauqua was at Randwick.
Fourth in a Newmarket.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, considering he started favourite every time and got beat, now that he's out to the odds, it's the bizarro world that he's racing.
Well, no, those 3 races, it was 80 to 1, $21 and $9.
$9 that he's run well.
And he's run well.
And then the other races has been $1.60, $1.60, $1.60.
Then ESP's 235 against Miss Promiscuity, gets beat 5.5 lengths, and he gets beat 20 lengths in the Bletching League.
And what was
SP $4?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So look, it's a neat little race. I mean, I just
got Glenn on it to make it, just to throw it all up into the bizarro world. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I just wasn't. The Ball of Muscle Shiraz line, I thought was, you know, maybe a bit stale.
Maybe. It's 1,000 metre Randwick form.
Yeah, I know.
But they what you see is what you get. They're just going to sort of be there, and looking to hold on at the end of the 1,000 metres.
The interesting thing, and Ball of Muscles pretty much delivers the same thing as what he is, but it's 2 trials as opposed to 1 trial. And he was good last time first up for 1,000 metres, but only seeing him on the TV at Moonee Valley, 2 runs later, he looked to be a lot like bang on.
I interviewed Tim Clark at Randwick Trials this morning, and he made mention that the Galaxy is his target.
Okay, thank you. All right, perfect. All right, so what are we? What's the wash-up?
I'm English.
You're English?
I said
I'm very pro-English.
Speak fondly, and you know, my blowout is all in the sky. What else did I would say? No, that will do.
That's it. Yeah. So I'm Ball of Muscle.
Oh yeah. Sorry. How much did Bjorn get for that handwritten? I assume he sold it to Hong Kong. The thing that just bloody.
What are you talking about?
So on debut at Newcastle, Ball of Muscle went around at 10 to 9.
Oh yeah.
And Bjorn's handwritten.
Yeah, so we were on that.
Started 6 to 4 and beat it on its merits.
Yes.
And I'm just thinking, you know, now that Ball of Muscle is considered legitimate Group 1 material, you know, was handwritten, sold for the appropriate price.
All right. Okay. All that and more.
Watch this space.
All that and more.
Can of worms.
Mounting Yard Mail. How do you breathe them out? As we mentioned throughout, there's a lot of Mounting Yard Mail angles to Sydney, and we haven't given a good old Warren Huntley Flemington I own and root fruit
That's
for a
right.
while.
And he's got a Flemington double coming up because, of course, it's Australian Guineas tomorrow and
then
Australian Cup.
Then the big day next week. So yeah,
very big day.
So Flemington double for Warren, and for those who have just joined in the show, they haven't realised Warren Huntley at Flemington has provided some of the absolute most massive days of all time. So we haven't spruiked that up for a while. So jump on board the Warren Huntley Flemington Mounting Yard Mail bandwagon, or Glen in Sydney, and you can couple them up for $55 each or $33 for the singles. The final race of the day is the Winona Girl.
Because we need 2 mares races.
Yeah.
2 black type mares races.
Named after Winona Goston from the news that she got during the weekend, last weekend. Anyway, favourite is I'm the Lady, ahead of Private Secretary with Artistry, Flashing Speed, and I've got the looks thereabouts. I've got the looks ahead of those.
Great race.
Yeah,
great
interesting.
Race.
Speed looks a bit.
Well, I'm the Lady is a leader. You know, I know she's sort of set off them from time to time, but and she can be problematic at the jump. But I see her leading this field. Flashing Speed won't be too far away, and I had one more Zeta stepping up to 1200 a bit closer. And Press Report's been ridden forward in her last 2. I don't know what that means for this race.
I was thinking the 2 mares that fought out the finish at the Gold Coast. Probably the 2 I want to be on again here, being Arms a Lady and Private Secretary, not sort of getting too far out of the market, but I see, as you make mention, Arms a Lady potentially going forward and getting favours there, with Private Secretary, who's been kept fresh, was due to run a couple of weeks ago, was scratched. I'm not sure why or what happened at that point, but to me she's a dry tracker that likes to be fresh, that likes to be on a track where she can run on. And she gets a few of those from a wide gate here. So there's a bit in her makeup to say she's going to do what she can do on Saturday. And if we've seen her in the past, when it all works, she's got an exceptional turn of foot.
She's had an unfortunate trio of Randwick 1200 metre runs. So well, she did actually win one of them. But the first one was on the 9 metre rail where Dublin Lass sat on the fence and Aussies Love Sport sat behind her on the fence, and Private Secretary was like back in the field just going, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened? And then the second time, Winona somehow found the fence on a fence-only day and got up the inside to win. And then she drew gate 1 when, you know, barrier 16 beat barrier 15, beat barrier 14, beat barrier 13, beat barrier 12. So you could argue that tomorrow is the first time she gets the Randwick 1200 to her liking.
Yep. I thought an interesting thing from it when I was going through it, and you go, I Am's a Lady, 50 odd days, Private Secretary, 50 odd days, the other one there that's in the Cradle Me, 80 odd days, and you go, okay, I've got the looks.
I've got the looks. It's perfectly set up tomorrow.
It gets a chance, yeah.
It looks like it's turning its head at the line.
Yeah, there's a bit with it, and there's still a bit with it in the yard. So I know
Jesus, it presents beautifully for tomorrow's race.
It's its real chance, isn't it? It should position up perfectly. It's got Shinny on board. It's got the runs under the belt. The runs are still good enough with a little bit of improvement to win this, and yeah, it still hasn't bloomed totally in the yard. It was up a little bit last start, but it can come in and go bang this time again. But then again, it might not. But Mounting Yard Mail, probe it alive, you'll find out. But if it does turn that cog that I want it to get across the line from what we're seeing in the yard, it's the horse to beat.
Yes, I sort of concur with that.
And the other ones are all great chances, but
yeah,
I think the collective of them all having coming off runs maybe want to go looking for something with a run, and I've got the looks as the obvious alternative to that.
Yeah, Dale, I think you've pinned the tail on the donkey in the sense that this is the horse that's been best prepared for this race.
Yes, that's right, exactly. And the preparation, whilst the other ones I think at their peak can go better, maybe be able to go better than it. Whether they can go better than it tomorrow, I'm not sure. If it runs up to even what it's been doing.
Sweet.
Beautiful. All right, BZ Radio tomorrow morning. Mark will be on it. Mark stuff online, all the other products, jump on board. They're all going very, very well and always have been and will continue to do so. So thanks for that. Your column on Monday, Punter Show Monday, plenty happening all over the shop. Yes?
And Kembla Monday.
Kembla
Look
Monday.
out for Kembla Monday.
Good luck. Thank you.